Hey, baseball fan, time for a little self-care and a few minutes of cardboard meditation. Welcome to the show that features some of baseball's oddest stories and the cardboard slabs that document them. Find peace and joy through baseball cards with your host, the big guy.
I had to fuel up before we got going. Okay, you know what? I was going to do this, then I wasn't going to, and then I was, and then I wasn't going to, and that is the video response, the VR that I see a lot of right now. I didn't want to do it because, well, let me explain to what the response is. It's your top 10 best looking cards in your collection. Like, personally, 90% of all of my cards look great. Trying to pick 10 of them was kind of like overtaxing me. That's why I went, I don't want to do that. That's a lot of work of digging through, trying to find just the right one. I said, then I watched a couple other ones. Like, why don't I just go ahead and get 10 that make me stop in my tracks when I'm doing stuff to look at them again? And that, I said, okay, we'll do it again. We'll give this another try. So I figured, hey, I'm not going to follow the rules completely and just give you the 10 best in my collection because I don't know what they are, to be honest. And I thought I would just give you the 10 that are like top of mind right now, things that I see on a daily basis when I walk in here. Like, you can see a couple missing spots back here. It's because I took 2 down from there, because I look at these every time I come in my office here, and they make me smile. So I'm going to give you 10 of those. In fact, since I'm breaking the rules, I'm going to give you 10 plus an honorable mention. How's that? Okay. All right. But first of all, this is a question I had when I determined that I was going to do this. Do you ever collect cards? Do you ever buy cards based on the looks of them, like what we're doing right now? Not necessarily the player, or whether you like the player or not, or the background of the player, anything like that. Do you buy cards of guys like that you're not in step with? I do. And I'm not proud of it. I just tell you, these are the kind of things I like. And I'm going to show you one right now. Here's a card I just purchased that I look at every single time I come in here. It's probably about a 2-week, maybe 3-week purchase. I look at it every time I sit down here at my desk and get working, and it is this one. I like this for a lot of different reasons. It's a 1998 Skybox EX card. You can tell right here it's an acetate, which is probably why I like it so much. I like the colors, and you know what, this HGA flip, I love HGA. It's like, I only have 2 other cards that they've done, and they both are color matched, because you can do that when you could grade with them. You could, color match the flip to match the team color, or your favorite color, whatever it is. I miss that. I wish they were still around and still doing that. But I don't like Alex Rodriguez. If Alex is tuning me in, it's nothing personal, but maybe it's personal. Anyway, the card is just amazing to me. That in action, they got him contained completely in the card. The acetate part of it, these semi-concentric circles here, whatever they are, they're just amazing. This is a beautiful card to me. The back of it, you can see it's got a little bit of stats on the back. But every time I sit down, I pick this up and look at it, because I think it's a beautiful card. But it's not a part of the 10. It's one of those cards I wanted to show you, like, guys I don't necessarily collect, but I love the card. Here's another one. This is a football card. I don't collect a lot of football cards, but when I see something that goes, wow, like this one, I kind of stop. I kind of look at it and go, that is really nice. Emmitt Smith. First of all, he's Emmitt Smith, the guy who thinks he's the greatest running back ever, when actually everybody knows it's Barry Sanders. Oh yeah, it's Barry Sanders. But look at that close-up of him. And then the kind of in-action shot. And it's got the Super Bowl back there. What is it? 33, I think. What a great card. and it's going into my collection because it's just a cool looking card. So that's why I'm asking, do you do that? Do you buy cards of players you don't necessarily like, or teams that they're not on your radar? I do that. And if the card really strikes me and really looks good, I go get it, and I like it, and I put it up where I can see it as much as I can, and then I rotate stuff out. I've rotated stuff out of there probably 3 times in the past year. That's the way I like to do it. And I've got some other ones over here that you can't see. And then this one right here, it's got just like a bunch of spare spaces. That's going to come into play here pretty soon, probably in another month. I'll have more on that in a minute, but it's going to be a place where I start putting major purchases, pickups, stuff that I really am proud of. I'm going to put it up there and see what it looks like at the end of the year. And I'm going to have you along with me on that, where you're going to go on the journey with me to buy some, open up packs, put them up there. You're going to go with me if that's okay. But anyway, I rotate these cards out of here. And getting back to buying players that I don't necessarily like, we're going to start with 2. We're going to start with 2, but the cards are amazing. This is Enos Slaughter. 1953 color Bowman, or Bowman color, however you want to say it. This picture is, to me, is just amazing. The photographer had to get right down to the same level as Enos is there, well, kneeling down there and down in spring training. It looks like it's just starting to get dusk. He had to go out and have his picture taken. There's palm trees back there and a blue sky still, and kind of some shadows on him that probably from the flash. And it's just a beautiful card. And I really like it. I'm not a big Enos Slaughter fan. He was, let's just say it. He was kind of a racist. And he ran his mouth a lot. I think he grew up a little bit like most people do at some point, or learned to be quiet, one or the other. But if you ever want to look up, I have one of my videos talks about how Walt Dropo got tired of listening to him yell at some players on his team who were black, and I went over and he kind of roughed him up a little bit. And there's pictures of Enos coming off the field. It was when he was with the Yankees. His uniform pretty much ripped off of him, and he's looking kind of beat and battered. But and he was a good ball player. Take nothing away from him. He's in the Hall of Fame, and he's got a great card. But I don't collect him. But I got this card because it's absolutely beautiful. Another guy, kind of in the same vein, is this guy, Mike Piazza. Great catcher, perhaps the greatest catcher of my time. I'm still sticking with Johnny Bench because the reason I don't particularly care for Mr. Piazza is I suspect him of taking extra vitamins from time to time. And I think other people do too. And I don't like that. I don't like that. There's been some speculation and anyway, I just don't go out of my way to buy them. But can you look at this card? Look at that. Kind of made me want to go and buy the set. I like to do a lot of the insert collecting these days from this era, like the 90s and the early 2000s, because they're beautiful. I don't really want to collect the set because they're just not as appealing to me, and that's important now. I only buy sets now. I used to feel compelled or obligated to buy top sets every year and put them away, and that kind of ended in 2000, 1999, 1998. I stopped doing it then because they weren't worth it. Trying to collect them wasn't worth it. Trying to, buying the full set, they weren't appealing to me. They just did not look good. But that was the time insert cards started really rocking the universe and stuff like this. So anyway, Mike Piazza, again, much like A-Rod and Emmitt Smith and Enos Slaughter, not necessarily my favorite players, but those cards are beautiful. This might be one of the most beautiful cards of the 50s. One of the most beautiful cards. Again, same year of the Enos Slaughter card, 53 color Bowman. Look at this guy. Warren Spahn. He also was a product of his time, and there were statements made that he and Joe Adcock kind of gave Hank Aaron a hard time when Hank first came up because of the color of his skin. But that all changed too. Like I said, when faced with facts and truths, people get humbled up. They grow up. They become a better person. But look at the card. Look at the color. Look at the composition. Tell me that's not one of the most beautiful. Another one that's really good and from this set? Robin Roberts. I'll have to find that version of it too. Maybe I'll do this like once a month or something. And then I'll find that Robin Roberts, show them to you. Here's another card. This one takes me back to my childhood. I have a long history of Kellogg's 3D cards. When I say that, I grew up in Battle Creek. A lot of Kellogg's 3D cards left the factory in lunch boxes and paper sacks and in back pockets, and somehow found their way to me. And so I've got quite a few of them. And this one, it's a 1972 Kellogg's 3D. It is absolutely beautiful. Now, this is the way I remember Willie Mays, okay? Because Willie, at this time, was at the end of his career. It was going to be 5 or 6 years after this was going to be the end of his career. And he looks a little older than he does in those early 60s cards. I wasn't collecting cards then. I started collecting cards in 69, and I was 9 years old in 69. So when I got this card, 10 years ago maybe, I don't know for sure. I remember the years that I was collecting these cards when I was a younger man. Really, I was like 18 or 17 when I was putting these sets together. But I had a bunch of these, like I said, from people that had them from the factory, from Kellogg's cereal factory. I can say that now because nobody can get in trouble for it. They could back then, but not now. But this is a beautiful card. Great card of Willie. And I love it. Every time I see it, it makes me happy. Now, these cards are a little older that I've showed you so far. I think maybe the Piazza, not so much. And this one follows suit with that. This one is from 1996. It's a Pinnacle. And it's got that Dufex sort of feature on it, where everything kind of shimmers and glows. And as you turn it real gently, it kind of really gives you a whole new dimension and depth to the card. And the thing is, his face has just a little bit of it on there. So the face really sticks out. It kind of like, the face is almost like it's emitting light. It's like some kind of Dutch master painting back in the day where they would, paint as though the subjects were emitting the light. The light wasn't on them. They were creating the light. And this card, when I was on eBay one time, I went, what the heck is that? That's got to be mine. So I bid on 2 of them. I got blown out right away because they were 9s and 10s. Well, there was a 9 and a 10. And man, I just couldn't afford that. But then this 8 came up and I went, yes, please. I couldn't find a cold or a raw one. Couldn't find a raw one anywhere, but I got this one. And this one is on my shelf back here, like right there in the middle. And I like it. That's a very, very familiar pose right there of Griffey. How many cards can you think of him kind of crashing into the wall? I can think of a lot of them. I have a phone card of him doing that. It's pretty cool. I should show that too someday. I don't buy phone cards. I usually pick them up if something comes up. Look at this one. Isn't that cool? I think I'm going to sell it, but I just thought it was cool. I'm getting off target here. Anyway, another one of the cards that makes me stop and look at it because it's absolutely beautiful. Getting back to the older cards, this is probably, out of all the cards I'm showing you, this is the one that I look at the most. It's the one that I find most dramatic and compelling, and it's not a star. It's Billy Heft. Tigers pitcher for a while. Look at him. He's kind of being called out of the dugout while he was in New York to get his picture taken, so he's standing just outside of the dugout. Look how dramatic the dugout is behind him with the shadow, and then some of the shadows back there in the stands, and you see the Yankee facade and caught in the background just a little bit. You can barely see it as the light tower. The black and white picture there. It just captures so much detail. And this set has a lot of beautiful cards like this. And the set is not that expensive. You can collect this set for well under $1,000. It's from 1953, and it's only, I don't know, 70 cards, 50 cards, 60 cards. I don't know for sure. I don't remember, but I have the full set. And there are some beautiful, beautiful cards. No big stars. Biggest star, I think, might be Johnny Mize. Casey Stengel is in it. I think those are the two big ones. That is my favorite card in this thing that I'm looking at so far. I just love these cards, and this one sits up on my Tiger shelf over there, and I get to see it every time. I have two versions of it. I have this one, that I'm showing you, and then I have another version of it, not as good as this one. It's in my set. Okay, the next two guys, by my estimation, by my opinion, are the two most photogenic ball players I know. They don't take bad pictures. They don't. This guy, Willie McCovey. Take a look at all of his photos. He looks like a good ball player. He looks like a handsome guy. You can look at him, look at his pose. They really knew how to compose this pose for him because it's just good looking. Now, wait a minute. I just realized there's one, I think it's a 77 or 76 where he's got the jerry curls. Yeah, that's not a good look for Willie. But this is. The uniform, the hat, the color. The color is absolutely beautiful. There isn't, just plain, there's no reds, there's no yellows, there's no bright purples. They're just using a nice palette here to create this image. And Willie just took great pictures. Beautiful card, beautiful card. I have this one up. It's on a easel over here. I'm about ready to rotate it out with something else. I've got another one I want to put out there. Here's a second guy who does not take bad pictures. This is not of his playing days. I've got every card of his playing days. This is my favorite. Well, no, I can think of two other. I can think of two other ones that I like better. But look at this thing. This is from Topps Heritage. I believe it's a photograph that's been doctored up by some kind of artist rendition of it. It's got a sparkle to it. The glint off the helmet just gives it a whole new dimension. Just gives it a lot of depth. It just feels warm. It feels cozy because every picture of Johnny Bench is perfect. Perfect. Look at that. One of my favorite cards from the newer era that shows older time baseball players. Here's one that it's nothing special. I've shown it before when I was showing off the 1951 Redbacks. I have the entire set, and I have 3 cards that are actually graded from that set. This being one of them. Look at the beauty on this thing. First of all, look at the young, old, little tiny young Duke Snider. Isn't he cute? Just a little fella. Okay, Duke Snider was never little. But look how young he looks. Very beautiful photograph. Look at how that almost pastel-y blue and the stark yellow kind of go together and just really bring that color out other than the red and the white. There it is. This is just a beautiful card. It's simple. Just simple. The back's got that creamy version. It's not a white version. This is a beautiful card. I no longer put this up. I'm going to put it up maybe again. I'll rotate it back through. Because I don't like taking it out of my set. I like to keep my set contained. Isn't that a beautiful card, though? This next one, which is actually my last one other than, like I said before, the honorable mention. You're going to say, why is that special? Well, again, years ago, 5 to be exact, I worked for a radio station, and promoting and marketing and the whole thing is something, that's what radio stations do. I know you think they play music, that's what attracts you to the station. Marketing is what keeps it on the air. But the early years of marketing are right behind Rocky's head. Look at all those billboards. I am a sucker for anything that's got billboards, and that's why everybody that likes the rookie Roberto Clemente, it's all right. The second year is the one I like, where he's making that great catch out there in the background and all those billboards are behind him. That's the one I like. That's the one I want. But this is just great. It's got Rocky in the foreground. He's about ready to throw the ball. He's got Chief Wahoo there on his shoulder, and it's just a good-looking card. I used to have this one out too, but I've taken him down, put some other cards out. But I like him. Okay, here's my honorable mention for this top 10, okay? Well, there were two in the sleeve here, so I pulled them out so you can see them. So I guess I have two honorable mentions, but they're the same, from the same set. We'll do this one first. These are the 1948 Signal Gasoline Minor League set cards from the set. This is Floyd Verney Spear. Floyd Spear or Verney Spear. I'm not sure which one it was he went by. Look at the color. Back in these days, in the early 40s, they had a lot of color film. And they would take pictures where the colors are so deep and so rich. This is one of them. Look at the background. Look up there. There's a billboard up there. Hey, look at that. And this is the Oakland Oaks, by the way. It's both of these guys are the Oakland Oaks. Back during the 47, I think, the Signal Gasoline made a lot of the cards of guys in the Pacific Coast League. And this year they only did this one and the Solons, I think. So anyway, I like the back of this too. Again, being in radio, you see right there on the back, it says, follow the Oaks with Bud Foster, Signal's ace sportscaster on KLX 910. Yeah, that is just cool. All right, here's the other one. They were both in the same top loader, so I took them out. This one's really cool. Look at the color. Look at the richness. Look at the flags. Look at everything on this. Again, it's the 1948 Signal Gasoline, and it claims to be a minor league, but in the Pacific Coast League, I think it was just a rival league to Major League Baseball. I wouldn't say that they were all minor leaguers, but maybe that's how they're, maybe that's exactly how they've been, made famous over the years was that. But at the time here, Casey Stengel is in this set. Vince DiMaggio is in this set. Billy Martin. Billy Martin's the big one. I'd still need Billy Martin. Ernie Lombardi. There's a couple other ones too. Yeah, Ernie Lombardi spent his last year with this team. Hall of Famer. And there you go. But the color from these, I just think that's really beautiful. And I don't put these out. I don't put them out for a display. I have a pretty good collection of minor league cards from that era. Most of them are not. None of them are as good as these. These are just beautiful, full-colored, full bleed. I should show you my whole collection of them. I think I will. Maybe I'll make that a next one of my videos. It's just that a lot of people don't like minor league things. So I don't want to make you sit through something you don't want. All right. Hey, do me a favor. If you're new here, can you go ahead and leave me a comment? Tell me if I was wrong with any of this stuff, because, hey, I'm big enough to admit that I'm wrong, and then you might be educating me, and that'd be awesome. So leave me a comment. If you can, please subscribe, because I like you. I can tell already I like you. So please subscribe. And give me a thumbs up. Talk soon.
Cardboard meditation helps set your mind right. Thank you for watching. Show us your appreciation by clicking the like and subscribe button. Ring the bell while you're at it so you'll know when we upload a new story.